How is it going, everyone? It's Elise here, and today I am going to be sharing with you what has happened in the past 60 plus days that I have been using red light therapy every single day. So for anyone who doesn't know what the heck red light therapy is, it is essentially a very low level laser light therapy, which has been approved by the FDA to help with anti-aging. And it's also used with cancer patients to help combat the effects of chemotherapy. It's used for cell growth, for wound healing, and it's basically very beneficial for internal purposes like cell growth, mitochondrial functioning, joint pain, stuff like that, and also really good for cosmetic purposes. So it helps boost collagen and build collagen in the skin. The main reason that I was personally interested in trying red light a few months back was not really for the external cosmetic purposes, but more so for what it could do inside of my body. So I mentioned that it helps with mitochondrial functioning, it helps reduce inflammation, it helps with lymphatic drainage, it helps with muscle recovery, joint pain, quality of sleep, and a variety of other things. So I was most interested in what it could do for my brain specifically, because many of you know I dealt with a lot of brain struggles and cognitive struggles over the past few years with toxic mold and my diet and things like that. So I basically am in this pursuit of what can I do to enhance my cognitive function and just improve the status of my brain. So I partnered up with Joovv for this video, and Joovv is the company that makes the red light machine that I have. So I have the travel size one, and it comes in this little case, and it has like a little charger with it, and it's very, very easy. You literally just hold the on button here. I'll show you. You hold the on button and you hold it about 6 inches away from your face. So you could like rest it on the counter and like sit below the area that it is, or you could just hold it with your hands. It's not too heavy. Sometimes I have also held it like above my head to specifically target my brain, and I do try and keep it around 6 inches away. It does penetrate the skull, which is pretty cool. So you can really use it on a focused, isolated area if you want to. I would say 50% of the time I was using it over the past 60 days, I was using it on, turn off for me. I was using it on my face, like just holding it like this, and then the other 50% of the time I was using it on my brain. So in addition to the little travel size guy I just showed you, I also have a larger red light machine, which is upstairs in my house. I've been sharing it with my roommates. It's the Joovv Elite. It's, I think, the biggest one that they have, and it's a full body red light. So I'll stand in front of it or turn my back to it, and I'll do that like half and half. So basically for the last 60 days, give or take a couple of days, I used either the small machine or the large machine for 10 to 20 minutes per session twice a day. So over the last 60 days, there was definitely a pretty decent combined usage of the amount of time I was standing in front of the red light or holding it above my brain or in front of my face. And when I was traveling, like I was traveling kind of a lot over the last 2 months, I would bring the travel size with me. I wanna give you guys a totally honest review. As I said, my main pursuit in trying out red light therapy, by the way, there is heaps of scientific research surrounding this. I know I said earlier, it's a very well-researched device and therapy as a whole. But if you're not interested in like people's personal reviews and experience with it, then I would just check out the website down below. There's a lot of research linked through their website, and you can also just find your own research on red light therapy. It's definitely up and coming, but also has a lot of studies already backed behind it. There's a lot of people who are using it and experiencing tremendous results from it. Okay, so my personal experience. As most of you know, I recently shifted my diet a few months back, and so I just want to be totally real and let you know I do think there is some level of bias nature of this video, being that I shifted my diet just shortly before I started using red light every single day. And as you guys know, I am feeling significantly better from my food, but there also are some subtle changes that I have noticed with the red light that I know is not solely from my diet changes. So the first thing that I noticed almost within a matter of days was my skin. when I first started using red light, I had a lot of little bumps on my skin. I wouldn't necessarily call them pimples. I've never really struggled that tremendously with acne, but my skin was not in good condition, not in great condition a few months ago. I do know that my diet helped enhancing that, but with red light, I could literally tell a difference within just a few days. And yeah, my skin is just very, very clear right now. I don't really have too many little bumps. I do still have some, but it's not as noticeable to me as it was before. One of the other things that I noticed with red light, I have a hair in my mouth. One morning I woke up with a little bit of congestion in my nose and wasn't thinking like anything of it really. I was just like, oh, why am I a little bit stuffy this morning? And I stood in front of the red light machine as I had been doing. And my congestion and like the irritation in my nose just like died down very, very quickly as soon as I was standing in front of facing the big red light machine. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like I guess it is very beneficial at reducing inflammation, but I was stunned and just not really expecting that. I also had multiple times over the last 60 days where I had a little bit of a headache. So as you guys know, I changed my diet, and so I'm definitely sensitive to some of the things that I'm not eating regularly right now. For example, I'm pretty sensitive to sugar and some sources of carbohydrates. So if I'll have like sweet potato fries or chocolate with like coconut sugar in it, I'll get like a mild headache. There was also a few times when I tried dairy over the past couple of months and I received a headache from that as well. So just a lot of head pressure, and I figured why not try the red light machine, see what it does. I've also dabbled with things like CBD oil, like Orly and the Balm, and also pressure points or trigger points. And usually when I have headaches, like there's not that many things that work for me. CBD works, and also if I like literally just stay in a dark room. But I found that red light actually helped with my headaches too, which was pretty cool. I used it especially with the little travel size. I was normally traveling when I had some headaches, and so I just held it right there, obviously closed my eyes and just held it there, and I just felt like immediate relief with it. And after I was done with a 10 to 15 minute session with the little guy, I did also feel lingering relief, but I felt the most relief when I was using it. Okay, so aside from those major things that were just like too obvious to ignore, I don't personally feel they were placebo because I wasn't thinking that it was going to help my congestion or anything before I stood in front of it. It was just like my routine of standing in front of it. Anyway, in addition to those things, I have simply felt more cognitively alert. I have just felt more mindful. I feel like my brain is functioning better. I also did kind of feel like my muscle recovery was faster than it had been previously, but with those two specific things, with my cognitive performance being clearly enhanced and my muscle recovery being clearly sped up, I can't honestly say that it's 100% just coming from red light and not from my diet change, but the fact that both of those things were enhanced as a whole, I am so happy with. So when I wake up and I stand in front of the red light, I feel like this sense of like alertness and also calm, and it just feels like good. Like I feel like I'm doing a good thing for my body, not mentally, but based on the way that it feels in my body. I'm not like, oh, this is like the best thing I could be doing for myself, even though I do know the research behind it and it is a good thing, but it's more like it feels good in my body, if that makes sense. I also wanted to share that I have been red lighting in the evening. Like I'll do it in the morning and the evening, and it doesn't like wake me up in the evening, which if you're looking at like blue lights or the lights in your house, they kind of keep you awake, but with red light, it's different. So I'll stand in front of like the big one upstairs or use the travel size in my bed with like all the lights turned off right before I go to bed. And I don't feel like it's waking me up. I feel like it's actually calming me down, which is one thing that I wasn't sure about when I was like about to use it at night for the first time. I was like, oh, I don't really want to stand in front of this or hold this like very bright machine. I feel like, oh, there's a little bunny outside. I feel like it's gonna like wake me up and kind of mess up my rhythm of calming down for the night, but it didn't do that at all. So those are my honest thoughts and experiences with red light thus far. I am going to continue using it. As I said, I am hooked and super interested in the long-term benefits. I think with something like this, there's so much research behind it, but there's only a certain amount of like immediate benefits you're going to feel when a lot of it is internal. So reducing inflammation and joint pain and quality of sleep and like all of these things, like I have felt a little bit of these things, but I just want to be totally real with you and let you know I'm not 100% sure how much of it is coming from the light, but I'm going to keep you updated, and I would love to share a review in the future, maybe like 6 months of using red light and 1 year of using red light. So let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in watching a video like that, and any specific questions, any specific things that you want me to track in the future. I'm so interested. So I hope that this video is helpful if you were or are considering trying out red light therapy. It's really beneficial for a variety of other things, whether you're super interested in the cosmetic benefits and you've dealt with acne or rashes or skin conditions for your entire life and you just want to try something new, or if you're looking for it for more of like a performance level, if you're in the gym a lot, if you're a very active person and you want to just help your body reduce inflammation, joint pain, all those things, or if you want it for your brain, it is good for so many different aspects of enhancing your health. So definitely check out the link to the Joovv website down in the video description. And if you travel a ton, or if you just don't want a massive machine in your house, definitely check out the little travel size one that I showed you earlier. And I think that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.